Hi, I'm so glad you stopped by. I'm in a special mood today. So peaceful, so dreamy. You know how it is sometimes when you just want to slow down and immerse yourself in something truly magical. Look at this amazing picture I found. It's like a window into the secret worlds that exists somewhere near us, but we rarely notice it. See this girl? She's sitting under a huge ancient tree, and next to her, next to her are the most unusual companions. Here is a little dog with deer antlers. Isn't that amazing? And here is a striped creature, so cute and mysterious. And here is what especially fascinated me. Look here, among the little mushroom. Do you see these tiny dancing figures? They are the size of mushrooms, like real forest fairies. Can you imagine what a magical world this is, where little creatures dance in a circle of mushrooms, and the girl has become part of the secret community. Today, we'll bring this fairy tale forest to life together using watercolor pencils. Do you know what's special about them? First, you draw with them like regular colored pencils, and then Then you touch it with water. And real magic happens. The color blurs, blends, and creates such soft, living transitions. When I was a child, I often imagined that I had invisible friends from the forest, squirrels who told me the secrets of the trees, birds who sang only for me. Maybe they really existed. I just grew up and stopped noticing them. But this girl in the picture, she still knows how to see them. Make yourself comfortable and let's dive into this magical world together. Let the sounds of the pencils and the whisper of water transport us to a place where the most amazing encounters are possible. You know where I always start with the most magical part, with these tiny dancing figures. Can you imagine how light and airy they are? My grandmother used to tell me that fairies only appear where mushrooms grow in a circle. She would say, Melissa, if you see a circle like that, don't step in it. It's the dance floor. And you know, I still walk around mushroom rings just in case. Now the stage, the little mushrooms, these humble but so important inhabitants of the forest. They appear after rain like little umbrellas for forest dwellers. You know what's amazing? Mushrooms help trees communicate with each other. Can you imagine? A whole underground communication network. Perhaps that's why our tiny dancers choose mushrooms. These are the most suitable places for magic, where nature has created its own network of wonders. And now, the magic of the first colors. See how the color blurs. These tiny creatures seem to come alive, preparing to continue the eternal dance. And the little mushrooms also ask for a drop of water. Look how the ochre color becomes warm, earthy, like real mushrooms after rain. Now let's move on to our special companion, the little dog with antlers. You know, as a child, I was sure that there were animals that could move from one world to another. This little dog is definitely one of them. See these antlers? They are like keys to invisible doors. I remember we had a stray dog in our yard named Rusty. Sometimes she would suddenly freeze and stare into space as if she saw something we couldn't see. My mom would say, "It's just a dog's hearing." But I thought, what if she sees? Those who live alongside us, but in another dimension. And now let's see how the orange blurs. It becomes warm, alive, like the real fur of this magical creature. And this little striped one. You know what amazes me about him? He is so wise. Look at his pose. He is not just sitting. He is observing, studying. It's as if he's a guide between our world and the world of this girl. They are always such observer animals in the forest. Squirrels, badgers, raccoons. They know all the paths, all the secret places. Maybe they are the ones who decide who to let into the world and who not. And this girl, she passed the test. Now for the most important part, the girl herself. Look how peaceful she is. Her eyes are closed, but I'm sure she is not sleeping. She is listening to the whisper of the forest, the songs of the wind in the leaves, the quiet conversations of her new friends. You know what I remember from childhood? Those moments when I would close my eyes in nature and suddenly the world would become different. The sounds became clearer, the smells richer. It was as if with closed eyes I could hear the language of trees, feel the mood of flowers, and this dress, so fancy for a forest walk. But I think it's not a coincidence. When you go meet magic, you need to look your best. Fairies appreciate beauty. Look how the peach skin tone comes alive. And the blue of the dress becomes deep, like the evening sky. This color always reminds me of tranquility, of that state when everything inside is quiet and you can hear the most subtle sounds of the world. let's create the foundation of this whole magical world. The tree trunks. First, our mighty giant under which the girl sits. How many years has it stood here? How many generations has it seen? Trees are the libraries of nature. Every ring in the trunk is the story of 1 year. And now there are the trunks. Every tree in the forest has its own character. One is young, slender. Another is old, with gnarled bark, full of wisdom. My grandmother used to say that every tree has a soul, and if you lean against that trunk and listen, you can hear its wisdom. I tried, and you know what? Sometimes it really seemed like the tree was whispering something. And now all the foliage at once, the heart of this whole story. Do you know how many shades of green they are in a real forest? The light green of young leaves, the emerald of old oaks, the green of moss. A forest isn't just this, it's a living organism. Every tree is connected to others by roots, by mycelium. They talk to each other, they share nutrients, warmth of danger. Maybe that's why children connect so easily with the forest. They still remember how to be part of something bigger. And now, the most magical moment, when the whole forest comes alive under the touch of water. Look how the brown trunks gain volume, become real, each with its own texture, its own character. And now the green kingdom. See how the green flows, blends, creates depth, like real forest, where light and shadow play, hide and seek among the leaves. done. Our magical world has fully come to life. The last drops of water created that very magic that turned simple lines into a living, breathing forest. Look what we've made. Our secret world has come to life. See how the watercolor transitions created real depth. It seems like this forest is breathing, that the fairies are about to continue the dance. You know what happens when we draw? We don't just apply paint to paper. We open a little door to that world where miracles are still possible, where little dogs can wear deer antlers and tiny creatures dance among mushrooms. This girl, she reminds me of what we were like in childhood when we knew how to hear the whisper of teeth, when we believed that magic could be hiding behind every turn in the path. Maybe we haven't lost that ability. Maybe we've just forgotten where to look for it. Creativity brings us back to that state of wonder when we draw, sculpt, create something with our own hands. We again become those children who see magic in the simplest things. You should try creating your own magical world too. Not necessary with watercolor pencils. Take whatever you have on hand. Regular colored pencils, markers, even a simple pencil. The main thing is to allow yourself to believe in what you are drawing. And I'll hand this drawing up at home next to the window. Let it remind me that somewhere nearby, perhaps right outside the window, amazing creatures live. You just have to learn to notice them. Thank you for sharing this magical drawing with me. You know, the most beautiful thing about creativity is that each time we create not just a picture, we create a little bridge to that part of ourselves that still knows how to believe in miracles. See you soon, and remember, magic is near. Sometimes you just need to pick up a pencil and let it show you the way.